boy Jay Newz, and you are now tuned in to Not Rated Radio, the dopest podcast in the world. And today we have the very talented musician in the building, musical genius, I like to say. It's my pleasure to introduce Nicky. How you doing, boss man?
An incredible introduction.
Thank you. You know, for the second time to chime, you know.
Yes. Will this soundbite be available for me to use in a song?
I can do a drop for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the funk flex bomb.
Yeah, exactly. I've always wanted someone shouting on my songs to know that I made it.
Hey, shit, I'm my brother right there. I'll be on the stage. Hey,
run that back again. I need that. I'm making this song one more time.
No, man, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure, man. It's definitely a pleasure to have you. So how we get this started, man, is by giving all our a brief summary to all of our new listeners and supporters out there on who Nicky is from the start of your career to where you are now.
Yes. I am a recording artist, songwriter, all that stuff. Got the recording studio now, Studio 403, and an indie label owner. And it's been a really long, independent journey, but in the best place that I've ever been, and I'm excited for what's coming. But I didn't move to LA till end of 2018. Started in Boston. That's where I'm from.
Boston. Shout out Boston.
Yeah, shout out to Boston. Tons of actually artists coming up from there now. Two cousin Stiz. One of them really wasn't anything much when I was living there, but my whole family's still there. So Boston is still my blood. Still my roots. But I moved up and grew up in the Bay Area, in a town called San Rafael, California. North of Marin, and then moved to Oakland, and then moved to San Diego, and then moved to LA. San Diego is really where I started doing my music thing now. Okay,
so you got a little a travel within California,
coast to coast.
I feel that. I like that.
And it's been good. It's really kind of helped me grow, not only as an artist but as a person. Just like kind of seeing different ways that people move in different areas. The Bay taught me like independence, DIY mentality. You know what I'm saying? Boston taught me hard nose, hard work. San Diego taught me how to just like connect, and not worry too much and just live. So now LA is kind of just an amalgamation of all those beasts together and being like, it's very competitive, but also it's fun being surrounded by creatives and people who've made it quote unquote in the game. And so I'm inspired out here.
Hell yeah, man. So what would you say you like to live in more of the city of California? Which one?
I love the Bay. I think the Bay is always it's just a little bit more me.
Okay.
But maybe that's just because I grew up there.
Yeah.
It's a little more chill. I like the weather better. I like the water. I don't know, but I will say like this is the most exciting has been living in LA.
Gotcha.
I think that I moved. San Diego was amazing. Like it's beautiful. You've been to San Diego.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it's the energy was too slow for me.
Gotcha. So you're more of a fast-paced.
I'm a fast-paced person. I'm a city boy at heart, and I'm just like that's where I'm more comfortable. I'm more comfortable with like the bustle. You know what I'm saying? Especially at this point in my life. Maybe one day I want to retire in Montana or something. But for right now, like I need to be surrounded by people and energy and activity. And so that's kind of I've been fulfilled here by like meeting people that can teach me something too, because it's really helpful to be taught by people that have been through certain things. That's always the most difficult thing is like trying to find the people that can kind of help you sift through the bullshit, being an up and coming artist, trying to find your way to make it. So when I got to LA, I started meeting a lot of people that had a proven track record that could kind of put me on game. So that's been my favorite part about being in LA is just honestly every day being able to be inspired.
No, you keep going. So being inspired.
I'm sorry, by the way. I see Walter White.
Oh yeah, the Last Cook. That's a great show, by the way. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorites. Every time I go out, it's funny. I just said every time I go out, people are like, "Hey, that's dope ass."
Yeah, totally. I love it.
So that's hella dope. Okay, so talk a little bit about your childhood growing up. You like you say, you've been living in different parts of California. Talk about that.
Youngest of a large Italian family. We love each other very much, but it's very loud. It's very active. You gotta be tough. My brothers, my cousins beat the shit out of me, but they're the only ones that touch me. My brothers had a good reputation in my town when we moved to the Bay. So like it was always I had the early feeling of being like having a cosign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if my brother Mike and my brother Aaron, like that's my little brother. No one touched me.
Gotcha.
And it's like one of those things. So I grew up in a really cool. Like I always really love me and my brothers are attached at the hip. We're best friends. We got into all of our respective like entrepreneurships together. So we were all working at the restaurant trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And I did my music. My brother Mike wanted to open up a restaurant and a gym. We did that. And my other brother wanted to do a reclaimed wood business.
Like entrepreneurs. I like
crazy,
that.
You know what's crazy too? It's like when I was a kid, I was only 10 years old. And my brother Aaron was always really good with his hands. He came home one day with like a pile of plywood. And just like he got out back by Scotty's Market, like in the dumpster.
Gotcha.
And he came and he just built this beautiful recording booth. Like I don't know what his perspective. Like he was 13.
Yeah.
But he built this like gorgeous recording booth. And then he got all the old cushions for soundproofing. And then he got this turntable and a mixing board at this garage sale for like $30 each. It was Acid Pro. It was the software that he got at like whatever Fry's or some shit. And then what was the other little piece? And then like a tiny little keyboard he got at the same garage sale. All of a sudden, like overnight, we had this dope ass little studio set up. And Aaron, who built it, went on to start a reclaimed wood business. It's very successful. Yeah. So like builder, my brother Mike was always the one who was kind of like trapping out the studio. He was the guy in my neighborhood who was like always had. He was the plug. He was the plug. And like now all of a sudden he's legally built. Like not like he's not in that world, but he's like. He's the plug for he's the place where everybody comes to eat. Everyone comes to get their workout. Everyone comes to get their morning coffee. He's the plug in Oakland, and it's just like amazing to see And then me, I was the one like in there making music. I mean music. Yeah, it's cool to see like all of that make sense from when I was 10 years old, and like all those things kind of come into fruition of like this is what me and my brothers all do now.
Put that in manifestation. That shit real.
So I rant on that. I just was thinking about that literally just now. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Everyone's doing their own thing that we were supposed to be doing.
No, that's great, man. The family, if the family get into it and you making stuff happen, that's a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's life in the Bay Area. Bay Area kid, man. I was cruising around parking lots, smoking a Black & Mild, listening to Andre Nicotina and Mac Dre, and eventually it was like I wanted more. It was at a point where like a lot of my friends were either very tied into like a 9-to-5 type mindset, or were on drugs and doing stuff on that side. It was just like that's when I moved to San Diego. It was I was looking for something more and a challenge, and just wanted more out of myself. So that was the best move I ever made.
I like that. So when did you realize that you should start taking music more serious? When did it hit you?
I was in San Diego. I went to my buddy had a party. He was actually at the college. He went to San Diego State. My friend from high school. Okay. I wasn't in college, but that's where I used to go and hang out with all their parties and stuff. And so he invited me to the first party, and I started. They actually were doing this. Their fraternity was putting on this show. It had Zion I. Shout out to Zion I, bro. What's his name? It just passed away from Zion I. Rest in peace. Zion I is one of the most underrated rap duos of all time.
Gotcha.
Zion I from the Bay. Anyway, so they were doing a Zion I show, and so we were all just like, it was so exciting. Like there was not that many people there, so this was my first taste of seeing like someone who I really admired on stage performing.
Yeah, doing this thing.
And they let me on stage because it was that type of party. So I came on stage, I started rapping, and like because we would always freestyle. Yeah. So the DJ who had just become a DJ, who was kind of friends with all those guys. He was like, bro, that was fire. He's like, I got a studio upstairs. You want to like pull up and just record some stuff? Shout out DJ Decon. And so, yeah, I think hearing myself back for the first time in a professional way was like, I caught the bug. And I'm just that type of person. When I put my mind to something, I go for it all the way. And so after that, it was just like putting the pieces together. But consistency and working and eventually building my base. And San Diego was wild though, bro, because I was there for 7 years, almost 8 years, and at the end of being there, I sold out 3 headliners. There you go. And it was like, damn, we're out here.
Yeah, we doing this.
But there was a ceiling that I was hitting.
Gotcha.
And it was frustrating. So I was like, we're doing really well, and we built this local buzz, and we built a kind of a business and a foundation behind it. But it wasn't going anywhere past that. And I wasn't able to do that in any other cities. So that's when I decided to come to LA and just
make it happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like that. What a story, man. My man got some.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, my man, you ready for that? So how did you come up with you on CNN, or how did you come up? And well, let me tell you, I got practice that.
No, I got tons of stories, bro. I think we can sit down for a glass of wine one day. I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Oh man, I would love to, man. I would love to. Now, stepping a little bit forward into this interview, how did you get your name?
Il Nicky?
Yeah.
So, I'm, like I said, full-blooded Italian. Il is it means the. So if you call someone the Nicky, the, you know what I'm saying, the J.
Okay.
I said the Avi, that's like sir. And so it's kind of very like a term of seniority.
Okay.
There's that, but also I was doing a lot of studying. Like I was thinking about this the other day, and I think that I would encourage a lot of people, especially people that look like me in this genre, to do a lot of studying. I think you should know a lot about what you're getting into. And so, like, for me, I was like, okay, I'm kind of coming in here as someone I want people to know that I'm well intentioned and that I'm real, and it just comes from a good place, and I'm not just trying to like do this and then go and do this, and you know what I'm saying? You know how it can be.
Yeah,
it can come off as a white person.
For sure.
So it's like I remember wanting to know everything about it. So I was reading books. I was reading the history of hip hop by Dan Sharness, and I was like just interviews and all these things, and what the fuck was I gonna say? Damn, what was I gonna say?
You was doing all the studying for
God damn it! I had a point that I was gonna make. Damn it!
I
lost it. What was the question?
It was the question was, how did you get your stage name?
Oh, thank you. Okay, so at this point I'm in Oakland with my brother, and I'm doing a lot of studying. I'm trying to figure out what's my name gonna be, why is it gonna be that, and so I was really inspired by Tech Nine.
Okay, yeah, that was legend.
Yeah, and Wu-Tang for sure. Wu-Tang. So I was drawn to them because it was deeper than everything. It was the brand around it was bigger than just the artistry, and I loved that. I loved that Tech Nine had strange music, and he had the emblem, and he would like send out necklaces with the emblem for like true fans that were, you know what I'm saying. He would sign 50,000 autographs just in a day, just to show his fans the love. They would have like symbols they would throw up, and like their shows were an experience. Yeah. Same thing with Wu-Tang, And so I wanted to have a story like that, a foundation like that. And so I just would sit in my room and figure out what I wanted, what I stood for, what was something I didn't have to force, what was really, like real about me, and not something I would have to feel like I was lying about. And the thing that always came back to was love, bro. I've always just been a loving person, and I believe in it. I believe, I love life type mentality, and that's what I chose to be the acronym that was IL. I love life. And so I started putting together hats that say IL on it. Yeah. And they started getting real popular. Down in San Diego, you'd see my hats everywhere with IL on it. Yeah. So not a lot of people knew what the acronym was, but that's why I don't have anything with the new symbol, but it's like an IL heart. So it's a heart with IL in it. And it's something that it'll never get old to me, is someone who represents love and positivity. So that was something that I carried with me, plus that Italian message. And,
the flavor with it, yeah.
And then around that was the IL Movement. That's the name of the label. Okay. So the IL Movement was a group of collectives with a similar mindset, someone following their passions and doing so together. And that's kind of everything. Just kind of started to build slowly but surely. But I think that what that's done for the people in my life is it's given people a purpose to be like, feel a part of it. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I always want people to do at my show, is to feel genuinely part of something bigger than just like cheering on this artist.
Got you.
So
I fuck with that. And, the segue into this, I actually went to Il Nicky's release party, and that motherfucker. Let me just tell you, dog, that was a real. When I came in, that was okay. My homeboys was doing the alcohol for the twins. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna come show support. And then I checked you out and seen that was your part. I was like, I'm gonna bring some merch too. And then when I was there and heard the project, I was like,
thank you,
my name. I was like, I gotta collab with you and work with you and stuff like that. So let's just step into it, man. Talk about the project. No, first, before we do that, let me just congratulate you.
Thank you, bro.
Drop a flex bomb on that. You know what I'm saying? For the Spotify wrap up, dog.
Oh, thank you.
7.2 million.
Thank you, bro.
Woo!
Almost
drop another one.
Almost 30 million.
Woo!
That's just Spotify.
Hey, he said that's a Spotify. Let me just, that's a Spotify.
I'm proud of that.
No, that's fucking dope, dog. So I gotta congratulate you on that.
But that's a testament to the entire team's work of that year. So I really encourage people to share those types of things because there's like this stigma around sharing that progress. Yeah. I don't think there should be.
I don't think so either.
Because that's, at this time of year, everyone starts sharing those things. It's like, you should share. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's a way to show love to the whole squad who's involved, the producers, the execs behind it, whoever is the manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone who shows up.
Automatic.
So I'm proud of that, bro. Because 2019, I was like, I had like 200 monthly listens, and now today 200,000, and it's like that's just a show of growth.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Nah,
appreciate you.
You're welcome, man. Now talk about your project, man. Let people know what you got going on.
Yeah.
And let them know.
So Virgil is the latest project that we did. I dropped it in October, and it's 5 tracks EP. It comes from the name, Virgil comes from the Roman poet in the Divine Comedy that led Dante through hell and purgatory to get to paradise.
Gotcha.
It's where my last name, Beatrice, comes from.
Oh, so this is deep in thought.
Yeah, she's the angel. Yeah, she's the angel that ordained it a divine right for Dante to be guided through hell.
Gotcha.
And it's like it's a poem. It's an epic poem. It was the first piece of literature in the Italian language. And I've always been very tied to it. I love it, and I felt like that's the role that a lot of us in my crew play, kind of as a guide, someone to help this person. As a songwriter, a lot of times I've taken a project, I've helped someone. Poppy knows this. Help someone take this from A to B, and then they fly high with it.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay, I got to do my thing now. And but it's good. That's exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Supporting each other in all of our endeavors. And so Virgil was a very perfect name at this point in my career. And so anyway, minus the meaning behind it, it's 5 tracks, kind of 80s synth style, new age, fucking pop, melodic rap style, my type of shit that I do, but just a new direction. And yeah, it's doing well. Come Alive got put into a lot of Sports Center stuff. Monday Night Football.
Gotcha.
It was in the top 10 countdown.
Which is one of my favorite songs on the project. Just got to point that in. I saw the video too. We're going to talk about it, but continue, my bad.
Yeah, it's in the runnings for some other things right now. We got some exciting things that are coming with it. But it is one of the first songs that I've ever had that I'm not so worried when I play it. Like, I'll always be the type of artist that's a little bit more, just, I don't have no fake confidence.
Yeah.
I'm either confident or I'm not.
Yeah.
And when I play something, it's like, it's important to me, but it's me. So I'm very much like, what do you think? Come Alive, I press play on that bitch, and it's just like, I don't really feel that. It feels like a hit to me. And it doesn't feel like me. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm so worried about what I sound like. I think it sounds great.
It does. For sure.
So it is. I'm proud of the song. It's the first one that I feel like, literally, that I've ever had that I feel like I could walk in anywhere and play. And so that's from the hard work of everybody involved with it. Avi over here has been a huge help as a co-writer with me. We've been in tons of writing sessions together. He's done tons of work with people like Gashi. I could go on, but the stuff he told me that he's most proud about is this project. So I won't put those words in his mouth. He said that.
No, I think that. My bad.
No, real quick, the producer, the executive producer is Billion Post, who is known for a lot of work he's done with the artist named Marky Basie. So to be able to not only work with him, but be a partner with him in the studio has been great. He put in hours and hours of work on Virgil. Our other partner at 403, Wyatt Woodley, and then my whole team. I have 2 business partners who started the label with, Sean Powers and Don Francois, and then my manager Trevor Lynn. So it's a great team of people who've really taken this thing to the next level.
Yeah, it's cool to hear that you actually have people and you independent too that actually believe. You know, you ain't got no other type of weird business behind the scenes. You know, exactly. I gotta be first. Oh, I gotta be first type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, no, the genuine plan, and that's dope, man. That's dope. That's definitely dope to hear.
Independence,
man, is the way. I be trying to tell people, man. I be trying to tell. So talk to me about, you know, you described the project. What type of mindset were you in to create this? What? Because, like you said, we had a talk earlier before we started the show. Is that it's kind of like darkish. Like, talk a little bit more about that.
I don't know. I was in. So you got to take it back to 2019. I'm starting to find my way in this a little bit. And I put out a project called Internet Friends, and one of the songs 430 from that ended up going in NBA 2K. That was the first big placement I ever had as for my own music. And so when I started seeing that type of exposure, it was like, oh shit, okay, we're going to that next level. And after that year wrapped up, 2020 came, and I was just like, you know what, bro, I'm just gonna go. Like, I'm just gonna drop a bunch of music. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna overthink. I'm just gonna drop hella music. Especially when COVID hit. Oh yeah. I'm a hustler, so I'm just like, whatever. That shit doesn't even exist to me right now. I'm just gonna put my head down and work. And I dropped a song a week the whole year, and it was like everyone got bigger and bigger until I hit California in the summertime. Went viral overseas, and just, you know, it was like 15 million on Instagram. It went #1 viral in 2 countries. And it was like, what, like, what's going on? Like this, but I was still so new at this new kind of exposure that it was like, we're still on our own, but we're making some money. Things are going well. And then in the top of 2021, my manager Trevor brought the opportunity of Twitch around, and Twitch basically offered me a streaming deal. And it was more money I've ever made in the music ever. It's actually more money I've ever made ever. So it's like
Twitch is the way.
Twitch. Shout out to Twitch and the man William Morris, not the same William Morris, but he's our account manager, and I don't know his exact role, but he was super helpful. Audrey co-hosted the stream with me, and we were on there 60 hours a month, just getting it in. So I made this entire project live on Twitch. So a lot of fans that were subscribers to the channel got to see this. Got to see the whole break. Oh, that's hella dope. So now we're just, you know, it's just more shit. You know, I'm making more music. I'm working with. I just did a record with this group called the 87s, and I got a record with Chanel West Coast. Shout out to Chanel, man. She's really dope. I know a lot of people know her for the show, Ridiculousness, but she's a really hardworking artist, and she's really entrusted us in our studio to help her with what we've done, like 12 records with her, writing wise. She hasn't dropped any of them yet, but that's her next project. And through that, we got really close, became friends, and I did a song that she wanted me to stay on, so I'm going to be performing that at Rolling Loud with her. Hey, drop a flex bomb on that. On the 12th, on Sunday. Okay. I believe it's a day show, 2 p.m., but we're going to roll up there together and just get it done.
Get it done. I like that. The collaborations coming together, and the hard work is paying off. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I like you, Nicky, man, for real.
Just trying to be like you, bro.
Drop a flex bomb. Let's go. Okay, so we talked about all that, and you know, you got the project that's out and is doing good, and the story behind it. Now tell us and the listeners the next steps that you have coming forth for your career, coming forth for the music, or other business ventures that you're also tapping into.
Yes, NFTs space. I'm working with a guy named Travis that I really want to start getting into a little bit more. I dropped damn, that's what I forgot to bring you. I dropped a book. Okay. You saw it, I think, at the release party. Yeah. Along with the merch, the Virgil collection. This is one of the hats. Definitely. We have shirts, hoodies, the whole nine. I brought you shorts and hats.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah. We'll put out the link down below.
Yeah, the Virgil collection. So it went crazy. We damn near sold out a product at the release party. Yeah. Which was amazing. People were really responsive to it. So, but I did this book. It's basically a lyric book. I love something tangible. No, because we're in the digital age, but like I miss being able to like give someone something of mine. You know, so the book was a way to do that, and it's a lyric video paired with the art of a friend of mine, Thomas Kettle. and a guy, the guy who designed a lot of the merch from Roanoke Park. And Thomas did all these paintings. I kind of facilitated what I wanted it to be and how I wanted it to be tied in with each song. So it's the book is basically the illustration, the lyrics, and so on.
Oh, that's sick.
So it kind of I encourage people to read the lyrics and look at the art when they're listening to the music. So it's kind of like if people like that sort of thing, great. If not, whatever. Like,
so you personally had the music. I mean, the pictures are all created from
just strictly for that, based on the Divine Comedy. So it's like old Renaissance style art, and kind of shows the story of Virgil guiding Dante through hell, and then eventually getting to paradise and crosses. And so, but the reason I say all that is I want to take those illustrations and turn them into NFTs. And we've been talking about cool creative ways to drop the music in that space. So that, shout out to my business partner, Don. He's got Elevate Tequila. It's a THC infused tequila that's blowing up.
Nice.
We're getting into all kinds of hands. So we've been going to a lot of cool parties and just tapping in with the industry and with different.
Look, I need a brand ambassador, man. We put on the show,
Absolutely,
man.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. You'll love it too. It's like a chill little buzz,
Yeah.
But it's amazing and it's doing really well. Long term, I think it's more of on a philanthropic side for me. A thing that I've always wanted to move towards was the concept of Sunday dinner. In my family, that's very important. Is Sunday dinner, around the table with the family.
Yeah.
With the gravy that my mom's been stirring for 2 days, and so I've always wanted to. That started as it is going to be a series I'm going to be doing where I invite people like yourself to sit down with me in an Italian diner type setting, drink some wine and eat some pizza together and talk about life, music, and whatever. And so that, but I eventually want to turn that into something where we can start building up Sunday dinners in cities where we can come and do that experience, but for the homeless. And for anybody who needs it. So
I definitely like that.
Kind of like, I guess, an Italian soup kitchen type thing. So I don't exactly know where it'll go, but that's something that I definitely want to move forward with. So my family's all entrepreneurs, so I'm looking forward to being able to touch bigger bags and being able to invest into certain things that my family's doing, from restaurants to real estate, whatever it may be.
I like how you're so in tune with your family, because that's the same way I am too. I meet a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of influencers, and they just be like, some of them will be like, I don't really rock about family. Like, how can you not? So when I hear a person like you, such great things happen, he's like, I want to tie my family, my brother with his stuff, I'm on positive with that. I like that, man. It's real, I appreciate that. Real strong and united. I like that.
That's the Italian way, and it doesn't need to be blood, family's family. So. Especially the family that you choose is sometimes even more powerful. So friends, anyone, your circle, your community, your tribe. So I think it's important to have a foundation like that, because at the end of the day, what's important to you? The relationships. To me personally. And so it's like something to fall back on, to be able to be like, if I fall, like, my brother got me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
having people around you, man, especially that family. All right, well, Nicky, man, it's been a pleasure. We're wrapping up this interview real quick. I just got one more question for you, boss man.
Chill.
What is some advice that you can give to the up and comer that is like looking at your situation and just like, I'm trying to get my music, do this and do that, but being in the game for as long as you have, what's some advice that you can shed on a person coming up?
I would say don't overthink and be extremely grateful for every little win. I think that and also, there's a thing that happens where you start comparing yourself to people that are out of your league. I think you should definitely, it'd be in your best interest to compare yourself to yourself, first of all. That's easier said than done. But compare yourself to your peers if you're going to compare yourself to anyone. Because you're not going to start and then all of a sudden you compare your numbers to Drake's or Russ's or whoever's, and it's just like, it's not helpful. There's a book called David and Goliath. I just gave it to Seth. There's a part in it that talks about, I forget the term that they use, but it happens in colleges all the time, where like they'll do a study where they'll take the bottom 3% of Harvard and the top 1% of a smaller, less known school, liberal arts school or whatever. And the bottom 3 at Harvard are superstars. They don't know they're superstars. because what they know is that they're last in place. But if those bottom 3 went to that school, they'd be number 1. So it's called relative deprivation. You say you look at, you're over here, you might be the best psychology student you might be the 10th best psychology student in the country, but your number, you're so far down the line at that particular school.
Right.
So when you look at yourself in this class of being like, but Drake just did this, just dropped this, and it's going crazy. It just got 50 million views in 12 hours.
Right.
But it's like, so when I would suggest just tunnel vision, don't overthink, drop as much content as possible, be mindful of what your brand is. Don't be confusing. Because in the same book, Malcolm Gladwell also says, this is Perennial Sellers, Ryan Holiday. He says that it's funny how artists hate to be put into a box, but all the biggest artists in the world, all the artists, the iconic artists can all be put into a box. Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Prince, you could all put, that's what they are. Bob Marley. You can see Bob Marley all of a sudden start doing, like some other type of music. Reggae.
Right.
So be mindful of what you're making. Treat it like a brand, but don't overthink. Drop and get to it. Just get to the next point. Put little goals, get to the next point. Don't worry about the long term. That'll all come together. And don't compare yourself to anyone out here, because there's literally a niche market, and there's free money out here. So you can find it, because everybody seriously, because especially right now with all these raps they're coming out, I'm so sick of seeing the posts that are like, there's no money in music, like we didn't make any money with streaming. It's like, bro, there's so many other ways to make money in this. Like, let me just say this, let me be dead honest. My brand made over $100,000 this year. And it's like, and that doesn't come just from streaming. There's been $25,000 on streaming, another almost $60,000 on Twitch streaming and all that, plus subs, merchandise. I don't know how much, maybe $10,000 in merchandise this year. And it's like, and then songwriting. What's your other hustle? Like, you could be writing songs for other people. There's so many ways to make money.
Yeah.
So
you gotta stop being lazy,
get
y'all.
Out there, if you hustle, you hustle. If you're a hustler, there's money in everything. And so just get out of your head. Don't overthink. Smile at people, because the world is a mirror. Yeah, I swear to God, if you smile at people, it smiles back. And that's I don't know, that's a lot.
I like that though. You hear that, y'all? I like that. Our man dropped that knowledge and what you gotta. I like that.
Sorry.
Nah, for real, man. Nah, that's dope, man. Well, yeah, thank you again, man, for coming
having me, bro.
The Outrated Radio. I'm saying, and yeah, man. Whenever you have more stuff that you want to talk about, then please come on. We're gonna share this and support the hell out you, man. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you so much, man. And likewise, you always got a spot at 403. You're always welcome there, and I appreciate you. I didn't wear it today, but I wear the Expensive Paradise shirt. You saw me out in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I saw you. You was out there chilling.
That was my main shirt out there. Expensive Paradise. What is that?
Yeah, Expensive Paradise. Well, before we get up out of here, man, get the people where they can find you on social media.
Yeah. You can find me everywhere at the Ill Nicky, Instagram, Twitter, all that. And just type in Ill Nicky on all streaming platforms. It's everywhere. And YouTube, just dropping a lot of visuals, dropping a lot of content. Shout out to the homie Said. We're doing a lot more BTS stuff. I'm just trying to be a little bit more mindful of showing people a little bit more of the background. Yeah. So follow me mainly on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify are kind of my main traffic. So yeah.
Well, make sure y'all run up the numbers, y'all. And like I said, he gets the Not Rated Radio approval. Drop a flex bomb on that. Until next time, y'all.